as you can see, I'm doing. I did yesterday's one, as you can see here. This one didn't actually, it kicked me out basically. I did the warm up, did my laps for the position in for position, qualifying, and then as it was loading up for the race, kicked me out and couldn't get any digits out of it. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to start an hour before the race, and go through some practice laps and run through with you like how to maybe give you some tips or pointers on how to go through. So the race has already begun for that one. Always good to see just what sort of times people are putting down. So the RSR, so 154 is the quickest. Always good to know. So I've got 43 minutes until the race, till I can actually qualify for the race. And I think I will stick with what they're using there, which is the Porsche. Started a Pac-Man design on my car here. Still got to finish it off. Done one side. Bit of the lap nice and slow here. We'll get up to the first corner. First tip I could probably give you is braking cones. This is where I brake hard as well and start I'm in manual, so I start clicking down the gears, come down to about second maybe, and then turning on the apex. Always trying to hit the apex. And then I'll break it down into first gear coming through here. And then what I do is I probably hit third gear, I will hit third gear by the time I come to this corner, and I just feather the throttle nicely through. No braking necessary really for that corner. This is a tough little corner. Coming out of that one, you got to bring it down. I find going into first gear helps coming through there, but I always find I end up far on the outside, as you'll probably see through the race or through the laps on the one. So when we come down through here, now again I'm always looking for cones, and there's my next lot of cones. As I'm coming down full speed, there's my next lot of cones. But these cones I find are a little bit too early, and I find I can brake heavily about here, and I'm in about fifth gear. So then I bring it, as I'm braking, I'm bringing it down into gears, into fourth, into third, and then I want to be to second about here, and I can just put the power down and pull straight out of the corner. Ideally, if the plan goes the way I want, then that's what will happen. But so there's my other two cones again. Those ones are spot on. I'll be up here in fourth, and I'll brake down a gear into third. Come through here. It's pretty much, if you can get the right line, it's flat out through third gear through here, and you bring yourself. The only thing I find is when I drift out, I seem to catch that, and from time to time I will get the odd occasional spin. But other than that, you can come flat out all the way through. So you'll be hitting fourth gear easily by the time you're at the top of this hill. Just going into fifth. And you come down the back of the hill. And as we come down the hill, on the left hand side there, 2 cones. And the cones, you can just go into your settings. Let's see if I can find it. Shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, there you go. It's your, just under your auto drive. Driving lines assist. I've just got corner indicator and cone markers. So these are your cone markers. So you come, I'd start braking there, you're in 5th gear. You start braking down into 4th, 3rd, 2nd. 2nd's about right, and then what you want to do with this corner, you want to take it like that, but at a lot more speed. That is pretty much the perfect line you want to be taking through there, and flat out as well. And then you bring it up through this hill. You'll be up to 4. If you take that flat out, you'll be in 4th gear. You can take that flat out. Come up to this next corner. Get the right line. As long as you get the right line, you can take that as well. And you'll be coming down here. Now, again, here's the 2 cones on my left-hand side. I find they're a little bit early as well. So I would tend to brake about here and come straight out. I am on a steering wheel. And then come straight through. And then we've got this last corner. You're normally being 4th there. I can click it down 1 gear, and then you can just pull it right around this last corner. Right around. So let's try and put that into practice. Show you what I mean. So cones on the right hand side. Heavily braking down into 2nd. Just take my foot off the accelerator, let it pull in. And then bring it down into 1st. Because I'm in such a low gear, I can actually put a bit of power, and it's a very tight corner that is. So into 3rd, just feather the throttle, and then flat out again. And then heavily braking. I actually took this corner quite nicely. So flat out down into it. Now remember the cones on the left hand side here, I remember they're a little bit late, so I'm not braking yet. Braking now. Down a gear, down a gear, down a gear, 2nd gear. Touch the bumpers and just let it drift out. You don't want to be fighting it to go on the inside lane. You want to let it drift out because that's where the most speed is. So those cones there, drop it down into 3rd. I'll try and keep it flat out through here. There you go, and change it into 4th as we come out of it. There we go, that's lovely. So remember the cones are going to be on the left hand side. Now I'm going to heavily brake. These are spot on for braking. Down into 4th, 3rd, 2nd. Keep braking and just turn in. Power out, and always look for the outside of the corner. That's the quickest way. That's the quickest way of going around, keeping your speed. So flat out through there. So I remember what I said. That one's a bit late. 3rd. Just feathering the throttle round. Once you know you can put the power down. You never want to put the power down too early. You only want to put the power down. Know that you can, that you don't have to take your foot off it until the next corner. So what did I do then? I did a 201. So let's see what we can do. Got a little bit closer to the chicane there. That was nice. First gear, throwing it out of there. And after a while you'll start feeling the car will just turn the way you want it. If you're in the wrong gear, the car will let you know. You'll be sliding all over the place. And you always want to feather the throttle. This is a fun corner coming over. I do like this corner. Hard brake. Take my foot off the gas now, off the brake, and just power around. pretty much once you get to the turning point of that corner, that's when you take your foot off the brake fully. And then just turn in and plant your foot to the floor. And inertia will just do the rest, and it will just pull you around and you'll be stuck. Excuse me, buddy, do you mind? It's always good to get time in on the lap before you do your FIA races. I can't stress that enough. You have to get that practice in. You have to. At least a half an hour before the race starts. Just keep doing lap after lap. Because then you're going to take out all the mistakes you're going to make actually in the race. How many times have people who are watching now, have you gone into an FIA about warming up and you just made a mistake, boom, done. Get those mistakes done out in practice for the race. And hopefully they won't happen in the race. I'm not saying they won't happen in the race, because nobody's perfect. But oh. See? Nobody's perfect. Make mistakes. Like I say, if you don't take the right line through that lot of S's, I should have actually lifted off going through there. But literally, try taking corners without pressing the brake. And just feathering the throttle, just completely letting your foot off the throttle, letting the car pull in. Because you'd be surprised how much braking actually slows you down. And if you're using manual gears, because on the steering wheel, I've only just started using the manual gears, and I find it so much better. Really, so much better. I've been using them for about a month, maybe a month and a half now. It's a nice challenge. It is a nice challenge. I use my steering wheel, my setup is a Thrustmaster T80. It's basically the cheapest thing I could find, really. If anyone's from England, I got it from Argos, £80. Bargain. Absolute bargain. Changes the game completely. Completely and utterly changes the game. And I'm slowly trying to take down my traction control and stuff like that. So then I won't be running with any traction control. I'm down to 2. So here, well, I spun out last time. Just give it a little lift. Just a little lift with your foot. Lift it off and put it back down again. And that still didn't work. At least I managed to hold it this time. Again, it's all about getting that perfect line. It's just about getting that perfect line, finding it, and then remembering it, and then consistently doing it. That was an abrupt end. That's how you ruin a lap in a split second. What the hell is that? Yeah, but if there is anyone who watches this and they've actually got a steering wheel and they're using automatic gears, push yourself. Try manual gears. It is a lot of fun. I know it's daunting. I didn't want to do it at first, but now it brings an absolute another dynamic into your game. It is a hell of a lot of fun, I've got to admit. Because one thing you can do with a manual that you can't do with an automatic is change the gears up and down yourself. If you come out of a corner and you're in the wrong gear, I used to hate that when I was on controller, when I was using automatic gears. You had to slow down for it to knock down a gear, and then that you let people catch up behind you. On this, it's just a simple flick of a panel, and you can notice the difference. You can notice the difference. It's like coming through this corner into second, get the power down quicker than you can in an automatic, and then it's just woof. Right, let's get a big win now, innit? Let's get a big score. Let's get a big time in. What was the quickest times they had at 1:59? I'm getting 2 minutes right now. Flow through there this time. This is going to be a quick time. What was the quickest they had at 1:59? Am I thinking right there? At 1:59 was their quickest? Can't be. So I think I'm going to beat that now if this is a good lap. Well, there's a 1:59 for you right there. Was that the quickest time for this? Couldn't have been. God damn it. No. Lost it. Let me just go out and have a look at what the times were for that. There's one, 1:59 something. And I made a couple of mistakes through that, so I could probably knock another half a second, maybe 3/4 of a second off at that time. So I'm looking in the 158s, high 158s, maybe really low 159. Let's look. Let's have a look. My first sectors are pretty consistent. My third sector got consistent. And the fourth one's a bit weird. A 154. So I'll still be a good 5 seconds off them. 4 seconds. But that's the pros, that's the pros. You know what? Let's see what sort of time we can get with the Lancer. Because this isn't... This is a cornering... This is a cornering track. There ain't many straights on this. It's for courses. So there's my traction control, it's the only thing I've got on. I got them down to a 2. So let's try it. And of course the Evo's 4-wheel drive. So doesn't like first gear though. So again, just taking the same lines, using the same braking points. feather the throttle up and out of there. Fourth gear coming out of that corner instead of third in the Porsche. And it's all about finding out what gears are good for what corners. Like I say, I know this car doesn't like first gear, so I don't need to go into first gear now. I know the lowest I've got to go is second. I won't bother wasting my time going into first. It's so short. What was that first lap? A 159. A 159 on the out lap. I mean, come on, this car is built for a track like this. All I've got to do is drive it a little bit better and I can easily get a mid 58 in this car, I reckon. So it's not always about speed, you see. It's not always about speed. It's about having a good line. Having the right car for the right job. I think one thing they do have to do is balance the cars out on this game. Like, there's certain cars like the Macan and the Scirocco and certain ones. I think the BMW is now the most powerful. But they've got to make it more realistic, man. They really do. A bit more believable. That's my mistake. Yeah, if it lets me, I think I'll do a race in this one instead of the Porsche. Change it up a bit. Let's see what time I can get out of this car. No mistakes. Let's see what time I can get. There we go. Third gear for that corner. Instead of second, it'd be second gear in the Porsche. So that's going to be in the 130, that's in the 139s. silly little mistake. Yeah, definitely third gear for that in this car. Let's see what we got at time. Come on. Got to be one in the 158s now, surely. There it is. Yeah, I feel safer in the Lancer. I think I'll stick with the Lancer. I know a lot of people will go with the OP cars, but I like to stick with what I know, and I think the Lancer might be built nicely for that track. See how long we got here till the race. So there you go. I hope I'll give you a couple of hints and tips there. Seriously, you want to get the cones and that on your game, definitely. What time? So we got 10 minutes until the actual race starts. So I'm gonna treat myself to a cigarette before then. Anyone on YouTube, you have the luxury of just fast forward. doing my drink. So what I'm hoping to do with my channel is bring you both FIA races on a daily basis. And yeah, try and hopefully do as well as I can, and you try and go on a journey and see what happens, good or bad. Try and keep you up to date with the updates that are coming out and stuff like, you know, general information about Gran Turismo. Right now it's just the FIA races and daily races that I do, and once I start getting a few subs and people start coming in and watching, I'll be able to obviously get games on with them and start doing a couple of lobbies with them. So yeah. If anyone can't place my accent, I am English, originally from London, but now live in Devon. So the times you'll be getting from me that the races start will be British time. A thing you want to do with your driving is try and keep it smooth. You don't want to. I know now with my traction control, once I start going down and down, I'm going to be spinning out all over the place. But hopefully, I'm trying to learn how to feather the throttle and put it down, put the power down when I need to. And that's another thing I'll be doing. I'll be bringing it down, and you lot will be watching me do that. I'll obviously throw that up on YouTube, so you can go through that with me as well. You can laugh at me while I'm doing donuts on the grass. Like I say, I've only started doing gears for the last month. I've had my steering wheel for about 2 months, 2.5 months. First time I've ever owned a steering wheel. I've always played Gran Turismo's on controller, but I got to admit, for £80, what it is, it does the job, and it completely changes the game, makes it so much better. All I've got to do now is get like a little rig, so I've got a chair in there and I can sit down comfortably. I'll show you my setup one day. You can have a laugh at that. So just seeing on this one now, there is no tyre wear, and there's no fuel consumption. So it's basically going to be balls to the wall, flat out. You don't have to worry about anything. I doubt the second one's going to be the same, which is the constructors. Let's have a look. No, that is fixed as well. No tyre wear. Right, let's get a few more practice laps in before the FIA starts. I could get 1 lap in. I'll get 2 laps in before. And then I can register for the race. And hopefully, unlike yesterday, it won't kick me out. Because I have 0 points for these races at the minute, due to it kicking me out yesterday. Let me do the constructors one, but kicked me out of this one as the race was about to start. And the thing about that is, it doesn't actually let you rejoin the race again, the next one, even though you didn't race. I think those 2 cones might be a little bit early. And I think my turn in there might have been a little bit late. You know what, I'm having second thoughts. I'm gonna go with the Porsche. I am gonna go with the Porsche. Just because it feels more solid of a car. I might as well just wait till I can enter now. I've got 2 seconds. So, 15 minutes of free practice. We got this. Got to see what everyone's lap times are doing first before I'd like to make a prediction on where I'd actually like to finish. Where I think I could finish. But until I see people's lap times, you can't really... So don't have to worry about coming into the pits for this race then. You're not in the Lancer now, boy. Thought I could brake a lot later. The Lancer's got a lot better braking, I gotta admit. A lot better. You're noticeably different. Wow. Just fighting the car just to not try and make it slide out. One thing I will say, I do like to race clean. I don't try and take anyone out. If I hit anybody, it's by accident. I just find it feels so much better to overtake somebody cleanly. And can I add as well, don't be butthurt if you're getting overtaken. Don't try and take people out for no reason. If you make a mistake and the other person behind you doesn't, they've been chasing you for 5-6 laps. It's your mistake, own it. Don't just try and take them out. Move to one side, let them pass. You'll catch them back up. If you're a good enough driver, you'll catch them back up. So the 158? Yes it is. Getting quicker. I am getting quicker. I reckon without the mistakes, I could probably get a 157.5 now, easy. Or a high 157. Cutting out any mistakes that I'm making. And then I've consistently got to do that for 10 laps. So that's all this game is consistency. If you can start banging out lap after lap after lap at a constant time, belt it out no matter what, you're a shoo-in, mate. Let other people make their mistakes around you. See, my consistency just went straight out the window. It's a fast lap. Right, let's see what we got on that one. Still in the 158s. I slowed down a right load in that last sector. To the people that have just joined that are watching, the FIA race is starting in 6 minutes. How are you today? Are you having a good day? Just having a few warm-up laps before the race starts. But the world's most annoying, this itchiest nose at the minute. Right, another 2 laps and we should be good to go, I reckon. So I wonder what this race is going to have for me today. Yesterday it actually kicked me out before the race even started. And if you've got this game and it's happened to you, you know how annoying that actually is. The itchy nose. Might need a shave. I couldn't see the corner entrance then because of my ghost. A little bit too eager to catch up with him then. Coming out of that corner, I really don't like it. With the chicane the way it is, you come off it at such an angle. If your back tyre catches it before anything else, you're just spinning. And that in the middle of a race is a killer. Right, 40 seconds till this bad boy starts. So my quickest was a 1:57.2, and when I first started doing this they were just outside 2 minutes. So if anybody goes back and watches this as a YouTube channel from the beginning, see what I mean? It's always good to get in those practice laps, a good couple of practice laps as well. You might not want to do an hour like I did, but you want to get some sort of practice in there. And so it begins. Now, if I could put a 1:57 down in the qualifying for this, I'll be happy. So this is the FIA, for anyone who's just joined, this is the FIA race. This is the first of the two. And of course the next one will be the Constructors' Cup. This is your GR3 class. Let's see what we're working with. This is another tip I could give you. When you get this chance, take it. Just to see how everyone, if you get a chance to see anyone trying to overtake, how people defend, how people are actually overtaking, you see what sort of people you're dealing with in the race. I'll tell you another tip in a minute as well when it comes to it. So let's see how everyone reacts to getting overtaken. Look, the Spanish geezer doesn't like it. Or maybe he moved over for the lot of us to go by. Little tap on Matey Boy on the outside, but I'll tell you what, people, the way this is going at the minute, I think I might have a good chance in this FIA. Just saying. Matey boy thinks it's a real race, he's fucking bumping me and everything. Now another tip I can give you is qualifying. Give it till people get halfway around the track. Try and get yourself a bit of cleaner. Look at all these lot going out. They're going to all have to contend with each other. A lot of them. The smarter drivers will stick back just a little bit. I like to think of these first people as the noobs. See, like, he's gone. There's a few left of us. But I'm just going to wait. If you look in the mini-map on the top right-hand corner, just going to let them go and do their thing. Maybe get to, like, the second line. And then hopefully the people that are staying in the pits with me, even if I do go out with them, they might still have the pace. Because they're acting like they should have the pace. So as you can see, they're just coming up to the second marker now. No, I'll wait till they get down to the chicane. There you go. There's another Porsche going out. So it's literally me and one other, and I'm gonna go out now. So, hopefully, on the first lap out, you don't have to take it flat out, because this one doesn't really count. Even though the clock's going, you've got 8.5 minutes. You get a good few laps in. Get 3 or 4 laps in. You don't want to go flat out. Obviously, I've still got Matey Boy in front of me there. As you can see, the starting pack now are just starting to come over the start-finish straight. Just want to keep myself a bit of distance, and I'm not going to put the power down until I get to that start-finishing corner. Well, the finishing corner. Smash out a qualifying time. Now what I tend to do in my qualifying times is I'll put out quite a quick lap, braking cautiously, and then once I've set a decent sort of time to what I think, and then I'll start pushing the laps, like really like trying to put my foot down through the corners, pushing every little bit I can get out of it. So we're coming to the last few corners. I'm just going to slow it down a bit. Again, Matey Boy in front. Right, let's have it, people. Qualifying times. So I was going 1:57 in warm-ups. So 1:57 in warm-ups. If I can get anywhere close to that, I reckon that'll be quite good for top 10. Depending on how quick people are actually going. That's not brilliant. So when this happens, I'll probably just try and keep trying to push a little bit harder than usual, either just to make up that time or pretty much just to save time so I can get another lap in. So I had my foot flat through there instead of feathering it. My brakes a little bit later than I normally would there. So even with that mistake now, I feel that's going to be a quickish sort of time. Maybe a 1:59, something like that. It's put me straight. Even with that mistake, that's put me into second. With that mistake that I made at the beginning. So if I hadn't made that mistake, so if I can put a clean lap out, hopefully get a pole position for this FIA race. That would be nice. But people do get quicker as they go through their time, so. The only thing I would like my steering wheel to have is force feedback. It's one thing I haven't got with my steering wheel, force feedback. See, people are going quicker now. This is definitely quicker than the first lap. %100% quicker than the first lap. Maybe back to second. Up into pole, baby. That's what Daddy's talking about. Now I'm just gonna go quicker than that again, hopefully. Push it even further again. So I got 0.106 of a second up on it. Just put in an even quicker time and show them, ah, someone else is beating me yet again. I got you, I got you. Oh no, I'm still top. No, I'm not. Am I? How's he got quick slack? This is going to be my last shot at it, so this has to be the quickest lap. Get a tiny bit of slipstream. 157. Boom, I hit the 157s. They're going to be looking at that going, fuck yeah, now. Can't see anyone beating that. They're all high mid 158s in that, so. Come on, this could be a good race. I really hope it puts me through the race, because yesterday it kicked me out. So that's pole position for the FIA race. Let's have it. No, it's second. What the hell? Why was it showing I was quickest? Oh well. Second, that'll do me. So as you can see, I've got no points at the minute, because yesterday it actually kicked me out of the race. I've done all of this, and then this is where it kicked me out. So fingers crossed. Please, don't kick me. And this is 10 laps as well, so 10 laps, don't have to worry about fuel, don't have to worry about tyres. Pac-Man Mobile in second. Bam! Give you a little bit of engine. Before the race starts. I gotta admit, it does take a bit of time to go through these people. We're halfway through now. That's a nice gold colour on that Porsche. Right, let's just hope I don't get the itchy bloody nose while I'm racing. Tell you what, anywhere on podium I'd be happy. Top 5, I reckon's reasonable. Anywhere on the podium, I'm chuffed. Right, let's do this. Oh my god, what am I doing? There you go, mate. I made a mistake. Got up the mistakes on the head. Plenty of laps to do it in. Come on. Oh no, don't do this. Why didn't I do any of that in qualifying? Sort your head out, Spartan. Come on. I'm making silly mistakes in the game. What am I doing that for? Careful, I didn't hit him then. Don't want my SR rating going down anymore. What's going on? My car's acting completely different going through that corner now. Come on. I want third at least. What am I doing? I'm getting caught up with what he's fucking doing. Come on. What are you trying to ram me off for, you bell end? As if you didn't have the outside line. Fuck off, mate. You piss-taking little bastard. MDB Gaming, you butter, because I was going to go past you. So you had to take me out. I feel ya. I feel you, motherfucker. And I had to lift off them. This little shit's slowing me down, man. I need to get past him. I need to get past him quick. That hit there, I was coming out, I was in his slipstream. When you're in somebody's slipstream, your car acts completely different. I haven't got used to that yet. Would have been nice to have overtaken him then. Come on, mate, there's no need to fucking hit me, you know I'm here. had him on the inside then. That was not a dirty overtake. What do you reckon? I had him beat on speed then. He knew I was there. He knew I was in the inside. Yet again, he knew I was there. All he had to do was stay wide a little bit and fight for the position, but he'd rather just try and cut in, take us both out. Right, 7th place. 6th coming up. Two spots for the price of one there, baby. All in one corner. Up into 5th. Right, 4th place. Is he taking the piss? He's got to be getting penalties for that. He's just come and rammed me straight up the arse. The shit little Spanish bastard. Fucking Spanish prick. That's what I mean, people just can't drive. And then I'll go and hit him. You're going to give me a penalty for that now, innit? I had nowhere to go. Well, it's only a second, that'll do. on, bro. Well, I might as well get rid of that penalty while I'm there. Saves me doing it while they're right up my arse. Again, dirty players fucking take me out right at the beginning. I'm tired of it happening. Absolutely tired of it happening. Yeah, I made one or two mistakes, but that was after I got punted off at the beginning. This piece of shit Spanish geezer in front of me, he fucking knocked me earlier on. Lost me 3 spots. Just tired of it, man. It's the thing with the FIAs. So, 6th place. Oh, he's got a penalty. 5th place. He had a 3-second penalty. That's all he got from whacking me up the arse. 3-second penalty. I'll take 5th, top 5. I said I'd be happy if I finished top 5. Considering I finished in 2nd and went down to what, 8th, 9th? Maybe even 10th. So that's one race of the day down. Let's go and take a look at the other one. A little bit of rub on my car there. So the person who's watching, do you reckon that was dirty racing by me, or? What's my rating gone to? A BB. I was a BS. Now I'm a BB. Right, so the points I got for that race, once it loads up. 349. That's not too bad. $21, so I got half an hour of practice. 14 minutes till it actually starts. In the Cayman. That's who I'm signed with. Signed with Porsche. mainly for the RSR. I just like the way it's got low gears and you can take it into first if you want. Gives you that extra little bit of pull out of a corner, especially if you're going uphill. Ooh, this is a dodgy little track. Let's get some practice laps in. Haven't played this track for a while. Got to feel this track out. So it tightens, tightens, and tightens again. Go flat out down through here into second, maybe. Wow. Off-roading this bitch. That's a big ass round corner, man. Why does that car feel so weird going into that corner? Slow down a lot more for that corner. This is one weird track. One very weird track. Third gear going around there, not second. My ghost put me off. Trying to keep my eye for the apex, it just caught me off guard. Don't get it. These corners, because they're undulating, you turn in and it turns in more than what you think it's going to turn in. It's a weird one. It really is weird. I can see it catching a lot of people out through the race, myself included. No. No. This is going to be a hard FIA for me, I reckon. It really is. I think this is 12 laps as well. 12 laps of this, I'm bound to be making mistakes. Oh, I feel like I've done a workout after one lap. Oh, trying to get a lap out. It's bloody ridiculous, that is. Shit. The ghost caught me out again. This is a tricky little course, man. Really tricky little course. So it's not fully flat out. Just trying stuff out here now and then. This is going to be a horrible FIA for me, I reckon. 18 seconds. Couldn't have timed that better. Oh, let's actually have a look what times people are putting down. What's my quickest? Didn't actually say. 1:15s. I don't even know what I'm putting down. So 1:15. Come on, load up for me, baby. Good girl.